Alright guys, welcome to my stream and my YouTube as well. Now I'm going to be doing the draft analysis of Newbee versus Complexity, Game 1 in the StarLadder Land Finals. Okay, so the draft has begun and Complexity has first pick. They ban away Venolich and Newbee is banning away Io and probably going to be like Night Stalker, Necrophos, Earthshaker maybe. Okay, all the first bans are pretty much straightforward. Venolich is just too very strong and versatile hero. Veno is versatile, but Leech is just really strong. A very strong position 5 hero right now. Newbee is taking their time for the second ban. Complexity made their bans very quickly though. So Newbee go for the Nature's Prophet. And Complexity picks up the Earthshaker here. A very versatile opening to the draft. Also a very strong position 4 hero right now. Okay, so Newbee replies with Clockwork. I believe that's going to be Kaka's Clockwork. And Clockwork is very strong here because of it counters Earthshaker in a way. Rocket Flare can prevent his blink, and if a Clockwork manages to cox in Earthshaker, he's unable to cast any of his spells at all. The animation of Earthshaker's spells are too much, and Battery Assault will just keep stunning him, so he'll just keep lifting up his hands and then he can't get off the spells. Apart from Echo Slam, of course.
10 seconds remaining.
Newbee goes for Puck, and I believe that's going to be KP's Puck. He actually played extremely well a few days ago. He had a triple Aegis steal on Puck. Puck is a hero that Earthshaker is not very good at ganking. Let's say in the laning phase when it's a Puck off lane, Earthshaker comes in to try and gank. He throws a fissure. Let's say he blocks the Puck can just up away. And Complexity goes for the Chen in the second pick. I think, taking a page out of Kuroki's book. Kuroki played Chen 4 games in a row yesterday, and maybe Complexity they scream a lot with Liquid maybe, I'm not sure. Or they just feel that Chen is a very good pickup, like in the meta. Newbee ban away the Night Stalker, maybe expecting this Earthshaker to be position 3.
Newbee's turn to ban.
The Ember banned by Complexity, targeting towards SCCC 0. Another position 4 banned by Newbee. So I think they are pretty convinced that this Earthshaker is on the offlane. That's why they are targeting the position 4 heroes. Nyx is also a hero that is very good against Puck. So yeah, they don't want KP to have a bad game. Mana Burn does a lot of damage to him in the laning phase, and Spike Carapace is a very good way to initiate on him. Complexity goes for a second ban, Lifestealer. I think because Newbee already has 2 vehicles for Lifestealer, Clockwork and Puck both can be a Lifestealer vehicle, and Mugi is comfortable playing that hero as well, so it's a reasonable ban here. Okay, so Complexity picks up the Visage here. There's a chance that they might go for the draw strat here. And that Visage is position 4, I think. He could still be a core Visage. Newbee went for Keeper of the Light for Faith. Not sure exactly why this Keeper of the Light is picked up here. It's just probably a hero that Newbee is comfortable going into this strategy that they are planning to have. This Keeper of the Light is like a proactive approach to this pick. When you're talking about draft, there's two approach. One is proactive and one is reactive. Proactive is when you pick something that synergizes with your own personal strategy and something that it doesn't get affected by what your opponent picked. So this Keeper of the Light pick is more proactive. Okay, so the second pick by Newbee in the second phase. Will Newbee pick up the draw here just to steal it away from Complexity?
Dire team pick.
No, they go for the Monkey King. This is probably a carry Monkey King for Mugi. He's a very strong laner. Because Earthshaker is most likely on the off lane now, Monkey King is very good at zoning him in a 1v1 situation. So Keeper of Light can just stack and pull the jungle, and Clockwork can just roam around, harassing the Chen probably.
Newbees turn to ban.
Okay, Complexity goes for a Bat Rider, so that means it's a position 4 Earthshaker and it's a Call Visage. It's either a position 1 or position 2 Visage. Bat Rider is very good against Monkey King. He can find him in the trees because of his flying vision from Firefly, as well as during the laning phase, he's more able to contest Monkey King in the lanes. I think this Bat Rider was more of a reactive pick because they realize if they put the Earthshaker in the off lane against Monkey King, he's gonna suffer quite a lot. So yeah, Bat Rider, they instead pick up the Bat Rider. It also gives them a form of initiation on top of the Earthshaker. So the last pick, both teams are lacking a core. I think the mid for Newbee and either a mid or carry for Complexity here.
Dire team ban.
And Newbee ban away the Storm, expecting the Visage to be a carry. Will Complexity target towards SCC0 like something like Queen of Pain?
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Currently, Complexity has decent initiation. Bat Rider and Earthshaker both can be the initiator role. And their damage output is pretty high too from Visage as well as Earthshaker's ultimate after he gets a blink. I think Complexity needs a very scaling mid laner, if not they are gonna fall off towards the late game. Currently their lineup is very mid game orientated with the Chen and Visage. And they ban away the PL. Their lineup doesn't have very good ways to deal with illusion, except for Earthshaker, but you never want to rely on Earthshaker just for illusion based heroes. Visage is terrible against illusion based hero. Like imagine a bunch of PL running towards Visage. There's almost nothing he can do except run. Same for Bat Rider. You want to lasso one target and bring him down. Complexity still has about 1 minute 20 seconds to choose their last pick, but they just go ahead and pick a Viper. Okay, so Complexity, they're just going for the early mid game dominance. Their lanes are really strong. Visage and Viper are both very strong laners, and the Chen can help out whichever lane he feels needs help. So if Complexity has to have a good start in this game. If they don't start out the game well, they're just gonna lose. The roaming potential of Clockwork is pretty limited here. His best bet is to probably try to find the Earthshaker's movements and follow him, because if he won't be able to gank the Viper, and it's very unlikely that he can. He probably can help out the off lane on the park. And now SCCC's last pick, will they go for something like a Shadow Fin? Because of the Clockwork, he can get about 12 souls before the match starts. No, they go for Weaver. Okay, so that's a mid Monkey King. Okay, it's a mid park and an off lane Monkey King. Interesting switch up by Newbee here. That's the good thing about picking cores that allows you to switch around, because you can keep your opponents guessing on which lanes are you sending your heroes. And so yeah, they switch things up. They put a Weaver safe lane. Weaver safe lane is very good against Bat Rider. I think okay, so here's what happens. They pick the Monkey King to counter the Earthshaker off lane, and then Complexity reacted by picking Bat Rider instead. And so at the end, Newbee changed it up and picked Weaver, because Weaver counters Bat Rider heavily in the lanes.
5 seconds.
There's no way Bat Rider can win Weaver, especially if he got help from like Keeper of Light or something. So yeah, the Newbee switched it up because of the offlane change as well. And KP on the offlane Monkey King, there's nothing much in the lane that can find him. Let's say if he feels that he can't stay in the lane, he can just hide on the trees, and Complexity doesn't have very good ways to find him on the trees. They probably put a lane ward to scout his movements, but that's all they can do. So very reactive draft towards the end. Both teams changing their roles, and after getting counterpicked, they just keep changing around. And that's how the draft should be going in today's meta. Because you cannot be, once you get countered in the lane, you just make your game super difficult to play.
Prepare for battle.
Draft wise, Complexity, as I said, Complexity has a very early game orientated lineup. They need to win the lanes. They need to win the early mid game. As for Newbee, their lineup is not that bad at contesting it as well. So if they can survive the early game and bring it to the mid late game, I think Newbee has a better chance at winning in the late game. Okay, that's all for the draft analysis of game 1 between Complexity and Newbee. I'll be back for game 2. Thanks for watching, guys.